The multiverse trembled, reality fractured. The very fabric of existence was tearing apart, and the echoes of these shattering realities reverberated through every corner of the cosmos. Worlds blinked in and out of existence, like fleeting shadows in a storm. Entire civilizations vanished in an instant, only to reappear moments later, altered and unrecognizable. Solaris and Lumina, champions of light, had fought hard. Their weapons glowed with an intensity that matched their resolve, cutting through the darkness that threatened to consume everything. They battled across broken landscapes where the ground itself seemed to shift and crumble beneath their feet. Each step was a struggle, each victory a fleeting moment of respite. They witnessed the collapse of countless realities. Each victory felt hollow as the destruction around them continued unabated. The weight of their mission grew heavier with each passing moment. Each battle brought new devastation. The once vibrant worlds they fought to protect were reduced to ruins, and the cries of the fallen echoed in their ears.
In past battles, we had pushed back against the darkness. We had stood our ground and emerged victorious, our spirits lifted by the hope of a brighter future. We tasted victory, but it was always short-lived. The darkness would return, stronger and more relentless, and our triumphs would be overshadowed by the looming threat.
Voidbreaker, the devourer of realities, grew stronger. Its presence was a constant reminder of the fragility of their world, and its power seemed to know no bounds. It feasted on fear and despair, drawing strength from the very emotions that weakened the heroes. The more they fought, the more powerful it became. The heroes were losing the fight. Their once unbreakable resolve was now marred by doubt and exhaustion. The weight of their losses was almost too much to bear. Their hope dwindled with each passing moment. The light that once guided them through the darkest times was now a mere flicker, threatened by the encroaching shadows. Voidbreaker's laughter echoed across the dying multiverse. It was a sound that chilled them to the core, a reminder of the seemingly insurmountable odds they faced. The sound chilled Solaris to the bone. He had faced many foes, but none as terrifying as Voidbreaker. The fear was palpable, a cold grip on his heart. Lumina, ever radiant, felt a tremor of fear. Her light, usually unwavering, flickered as the enormity of their task loomed over them. She had never felt so vulnerable. Never had they faced such overwhelming power. The sheer magnitude of Voidbreaker's strength was unlike anything they had encountered before. It was a force of nature, unstoppable and unyielding. They knew they might not survive this encounter. The odds were stacked against them, and the path ahead was fraught with peril. But they had no choice but to press on. The fate of the multiverse rested on their shoulders. They were the last line of defense, the only hope for countless worlds. With steely determination, they prepared for the final battle. Solaris stood tall, his fiery armor gleaming. He was a beacon against the encroaching darkness. Lumina, radiating pure light, stood beside him. They were the last line of defense.
We cannot give up,
Solaris said, his voice echoing with determination. Lumina nodded, her eyes blazing with defiance.
We fight for every world, every life.
They had faced impossible odds before. They had triumphed against all expectations. But this felt different. This felt final. Yet they clung to hope. Hope was all they had left. Voidbreaker emerged from a tear in reality, a rift that seemed to pulse with an eerie, otherworldly energy. The air around it crackled with dark magic, sending shivers down the spines of all who witnessed its arrival. Its form was ever-shifting, a swirling mass of shadows and teeth, constantly morphing and changing. It was as if the darkness itself had come alive, given form and purpose by some malevolent force. The heroes charged. They moved as one, a symphony of light and fury, their hearts beating in unison with a shared determination. Each step they took was filled with purpose, their resolve unbreakable. Solaris unleashed a wave of fire, the flames roaring like a dragon's breath. The heat was intense, scorching the very ground beneath them, turning the battlefield into a blazing inferno. Lumina struck with blinding speed, her movements a blur of light. She was a beacon of hope, her attacks swift and precise, each strike aimed at the heart of the darkness. Their attacks seemed to have no effect. The creature absorbed the energy, its form growing more solid, more menacing with each passing moment. It was as if their efforts were feeding its power. Voidbreaker laughed, a sound that tore at the fabric of reality. It was a laugh filled with malice and contempt, echoing through the void, shaking the very foundations of their world.
You cannot stop me. I am the end of all things. My power is absolute, my will unbreakable. You are but mere insects before my might.
Solaris and Lumina fought back with renewed vigor. They knew the stakes were high, and failure was not an option. Their determination was a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness. They dodged and weaved, avoiding the creature's attacks with agility and grace. Each movement was a dance, a testament to their training and their will to survive. Their powers combined, creating a dazzling display of celestial energy. The light was blinding, a radiant force that pushed back the shadows, if only for a moment. But Voidbreaker was relentless. It was growing stronger, feeding off the very energy they used against it. The battle was far from over, and the heroes knew they had to find another way to defeat this seemingly invincible foe. Suddenly a portal opened. From it emerged figures cloaked in light. They were Solaris and Lumina, but different. These were echoes of the heroes, pulled from alternate realities. They had heeded the call to arms.
We heard your call across the void.
One Lumina said, her voice filled with determination.
We fight with you.
A Solaris added, his eyes burning with righteous fury. The arrival of their alternate selves invigorated Solaris and Lumina. They fought with renewed vigor. Hope surged. Maybe, just maybe, they could win this. The multiverse held its breath.
Section 5, the Hunger of Voidbreaker.
Voidbreaker roared in anger.
It lashed out, consuming more of the shattered realities.
With each world devoured, it grew larger, its power multiplying.
The heroes fought bravely.
However, they were tiring.
Their combined might seemed insignificant against Voidbreaker's growing power.
Your efforts are futile. I will consume all.
Solaris and Lumina felt a pang of despair. They had fought with all their might, yet they were losing. The multiverse was crumbling around them. Was this the end?
Section 6, Forged in the Heart of a Dying Star. This is where our story reaches its most critical juncture. The stakes have never been higher, and the fate of the universe hangs in the balance. Drawing strength from the core of a dying star, I unleashed a wave of fire that dwarfed all previous attacks. The energy coursed through me, a torrent of power that felt both exhilarating and terrifying. It was as if I had become one with the star itself, channeling its final moments of fury.
The heat was intense, burning with the fury of 1,000 suns. The very air around us seemed to ignite, creating an inferno that threatened to consume everything in its path. The ground beneath our feet trembled, and the sky above us turned a deep, ominous red.
Channeling the combined light of a million galaxies, I unleashed a beam of pure energy. It was a sight to behold, a radiant stream of light that cut through the darkness like a knife. The power was overwhelming, and I could feel the weight of countless stars behind it. It struck Voidbreaker with the force of a supernova. The impact was cataclysmic, sending shockwaves rippling through the battlefield. For a moment, it seemed as though the very fabric of reality might tear apart.
For a moment, everything was silent. The heroes held their breath. Had they done it? The tension was palpable, and time seemed to stand still as everyone waited for the dust to settle.
Look, Voidbreaker's form. It's flickering. Could it be? Was this the moment we had all been fighting for? The sight filled us with a cautious hope.
Voidbreaker's form flickered. It staggered, seemingly wounded for the first time. The once invincible foe now appeared vulnerable, its dark aura dimming. A wave of relief washed over the heroes, but it was short-lived. The battle was far from over, and the true test of their strength and resolve was just beginning. They knew that this was only a temporary reprieve, and the final confrontation was yet to come.
Section 7, a multiverse hangs in the balance. You have angered me.
Voidbreaker's form solidified. It was larger than ever, its eyes blazing with rage. The creature had absorbed the energy of their attacks, becoming even more powerful.
We underestimated its power.
The heroes felt a chill run down their spines. They had underestimated Voidbreaker's power. This was it, the final stand. Section 8, a Glimmer of Hope. The heroes, battered and bruised, looked at each other. They knew this might be their last stand, but they refused to give up. They had to protect the multiverse.
We can't give up now.
We have to keep fighting.
Suddenly a figure stepped forward. It was another Solaris, but this one radiated a power unlike any other. This Solaris, older and wiser, smiled.
Do not lose hope. I have seen the end of this battle, and we will be victorious.
Solaris and Lumina felt a surge of hope. Was this their salvation? Section 9, to be continued. The older Solaris raised his hand. A sword forged from the heart of a dying star materialized in his grasp. Its blade pulsed with unimaginable energy. The other Solaris and Luminous looked on in awe. They had never seen such power.
The time has come to end this.
Voidbreaker roared, a sound filled with rage and desperation. The final battle for the multiverse was about to begin.